And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks. Joined, as always, with my guy, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson.
Yes, sir.
Live and direct Sunday night. Wild day of NFL. Awesome day of college football yesterday. The fucking Oregon and Ohio State game lived up to the fucking hype, which is dope. But yeah, man, crazy weekend. We are in the NLCS and the ALCS. We had NLCS game 1 today. The Dodgers won.
Destroyed.
Dodgers destroyed 9-0.
9-0, yep.
So that was bad. I mean, Senga started, and I was like, I don't know. It's probably not the guy I would start with, but, that's who they started with, and he could not find the strike
When
zone.
did that change? Because Severino was...
Well, they announced it yesterday.
Huh.
Senga.
I thought Severino was...
Well,
but I thought Severino was set to start for...
We all assumed Severino was going to start because he didn't start in
the whole
first... He didn't start... He didn't start in the last series, so we assumed that he was going to start game 1. Mm-hmm. He's going to start game 2. But yeah, man, the Mets, Dodgers, 33 consecutive scoreless innings they pitched, 3 straight shutouts, dude. Absolutely fucking impressive shit by their pitching staff. And Jack Flaherty, he didn't even have good stuff today, bro, and he managed to hold them scoreless. And you got to tip your cap, man. Dodgers are doing something right, man. And I don't know, man. I'm starting to think this series is going to be over pretty quick. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Which is way unfortunate. I was at Lids yesterday, and I was talking to the guy, and he's willing to do it, but do a blue hat with a white cursive letter that says Los Deferrals. So definitely might pick that up for my Dodgers hat, because I don't ever want to own a Dodgers hat, but that one sounds just about right.
Yeah, it's dude, it's just, I was thinking about it during the game too, and I was just like, aside from one game in the Brewers series, and then really, the Phillies, they're not the same team they were in the beginning of the year, right? And I was like, the Mets, honestly, they haven't looked that great, outside of one game against the fucking Brewers, and then they had a few timely hits, and then, the Philly series. And I was like, this probably isn't a good matchup for them too, because plus all their best hitters are right-handed, and the Dodgers have a lot of guys in their bullpen that they can go to and mix and match and stuff. And yeah, man, it's just, I don't know what the Mets do, and the Mets bullpen isn't that good either, Ben. So it's
no, and it was always going to be whoever won between the Padres and the Dodgers were going to take the series.
Yeah,
but it's just unfortunate that it's the Dodgers and not the Padres. And how do you go what was it, like 22 innings without scoring a run?
Who, the Padres?
Yeah,
They went 24 innings without scoring a run.
24 innings without scoring a run. It's just it's unfathomable. And it's like, yes, the Dodgers bullpen is good, but they're not that good. The Dodgers starters are not that good.
The starters aren't that good, but the bullpen, and I
The
mentioned this.
bullpen is good, but
I
it's not.
I mentioned
It's
this on
not
our
27
show. I
innings or
mentioned this on
24
our
innings.
I mentioned this on our show during the week though. I was like, bro, the Padres in the last 8 games versus the Dodgers, going
Yeah.
back to the regular season, they had only scored 2 runs on their bullpen.
Yep.
2. So there's something that the Dodgers, the way they like match up with the Padres, you know what I mean? Like they had an upper edge on there, and you could just see it, dude. You could feel it, and you could like sense it in the Padres during the game too. Like they just looked defeated by like the 5th inning. They were like,
Yep.
when they were down 2-0, they were like, it like looked like they were like, this might as well be 10 runs.
Yeah.
Like just their like body language and stuff. They just look so defeated. And that's
Yep.
Ben, that's like the worst. That's got to be the sorriest way of going out. Going out, you're up 2-1 in a series, and then you get shut out 2 straight games to lose a series. Like that's so bad, bro. And honestly, I don't know how the Padres come back from it because, Dylan Cease was fucking dog shit
He
in
was
the fucking
horrible.
playoffs.
Both games.
Yeah. And he's due for arbitration, and is like he's gonna be due for a long-term contract, and it's like you see that shit, and maybe it's just a fucking anomaly, and maybe they get in the playoffs next year and he shoves, but it's like, dude, he was terrible, bro, and you can't afford that. And probably what really cost the Padres was not having Joe Musgrove available for Game 3, because he would have started Game 4 over Dylan Cease. I'm sorry, not Game 3, Game 4, if he was healthy.
Yep.
So that was a huge loss. But I mean, like, you got 2 great starts from you, Darvish, and you didn't win either of those.
Yep.
Or sorry, you won one.
Nope.
You lost the second one. I mean, he went out there and gave you 7 innings, a 2-run ball, and your offense couldn't even muster a fucking single run of support.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the Padres go from here. Obviously you have Jackson Merrill going forward, and he looks like a really good young player, and Tatis looks great. But you got to make a decision on Luis Ariz. I'm sorry, go ahead.
On Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, you can't go into a defense fielding 5 shortstops. So they have to make some decisions here on who they're gonna keep, who they're gonna let go.
But I mean, defense isn't their problem. It was just like,
oh yeah,
Profar, Arise, like they didn't hold up their end of the bargain at all in the postseason. Like neither of those guys were good.
Profar had a good first.
Cronenworth was also terrible. I mean, I don't even think he had Profar had 1 hit in the Dodger series. I don't think Cronenworth even had a hit. I mean, they were just.
I was just trying to think the first series, but no, he was batting like 150 going into the Dodgers series. So.
Yep, and when they needed them the most, they fucking crumbled. I mean, like, you take away Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis, and like really nobody did shit in that fucking series besides
offensively.
those 2.
Defensively, Profar played incredible.
Yeah, so I'm saying defense, they don't have a problem. Like Jackson Merrill is great defensively, Tatis is great defensively. They're all good defensively. They just can't they couldn't hit when they needed to.
Yep.
Yep. And then tomorrow we start the ALCS. We got Carlos Rodon on the mound. He'll be going against Alex Cobb. This is gonna be an interesting series, Ben, because I feel like the Guardians are a much better version of the Royals. In the sense that, they make a lot of contact and they have excellent pitching. Excellent bullpen. So I'm curious as to like how this is going to work out, because the Yankees, I mean, they really struggled offensively against the Royals. And they won that series because the Royals just could not fucking hit like at all.
Same thing. Royals couldn't hit at all. Yep.
At all. Like they could not get timely hits. So
Guards plus 160 for this series. Yankees minus 190.
Yeah, I think honestly playing Guardians money line every game is probably more profitable than plus 160 because like tomorrow they're plus 147.
Okay, yeah.
So if you just like play money line and then just roll it over, probably better outcome.
Gardens winning the series by 1.5 is plus 300. 2.5 plus 550.
I think it'll be a pretty close series.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, you look at it, it's like, okay, Judge and Soto are, like, the two best players in the series, but Aaron Judge can't hit in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Ramirez jumps into that number 2 spot.
Ramirez, and then Steven Kwan's probably the next best player. I mean, Steven Kwan's hitting, like, 600 in the postseason.
Yep.
Lane Thomas is also hitting very well. Like, the Guardians' bats got, like, hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see what happens in this series, but I do think the Guardians have a chance, bro. I think that, in my opinion, they're the better team. They have the better bullpen. I think their lineup top to bottom is better. I don't really like either one of these teams' lineups. I'll be honest with you, but I would rather have Kwan, Ramirez, Naylor, and Lane Thomas over fucking Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, and then a bunch of fucking dudes.
Well, and Stanton. Stanton is fucking hitting out of this world right now.
Stanton played. He had a really good series. He's actually probably the reason why they won at least the last game.
Yep.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the series. Game 1's tomorrow, like 4:00 Pacific. The Dodgers game's at 1 Pacific.
No, it's lame.
I know, it's fucking stupid, dude. Championship series, and you got a game at 1:00 on a fucking Monday, dude.
Yeah. Why not switch those around too?
Yeah.
And have the West Coast teams.
It's because
I guess it's New York Mets. Yeah.
It's because the
No, they're playing in LA to start, right?
Yeah, but the reason why is because they're traveling right after to New York.
Yeah, but they have a day off.
I know, but like they can like jump on a plane earlier rather than later. I don't know. I agree with you, dude. I don't understand why we have a championship series game at 1:00, dude.
Yeah,
just makes no fucking sense. All right, let's hop into the NFL recap. We'll start with Sunday Night Football since it just happened. We had the Cincinnati. Well, before we do that, I will say just a wild day of NFL. All 8 road favorites win outright and cover, which I can't even recall the last time I've ever seen that shit. That's unbelievable. And then the favorites went 8-2 today overall. 8-2.
Yep.
Pretty remarkable.
I'm really fucking bummed too because we were going up against each other in fantasy,
and I destroyed you.
You're gonna win by about 10 points, but that is because I had to pick up a QB off the waiver wire. And who do I pick up? Probably the worst fucking QB today.
Who?
Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah, dude, I saw that.
3.22 points out of a QB.
I picked up a QB because I didn't want to play Josh Allen against the Jets. So I swooped up Kirk Cousins on the waiver wire earlier this week against the Panthers.
I must have done it right after.
And he didn't even have that great of a game.
Yeah, 14.5 is still better than 3.2. So.
Yep.
Fucking Dak.
Yeah, that's the one blessing of the week is that I'm going to win both my fantasy matchups this week. So
my fucking defense had 19 points and I couldn't fucking win. I mean, unless and I sit Gabe Davis this week and he comes back and has a fucking day.
That's always how it goes, dude.
Yep. I had DK Metcalf and Christian Kirk, and neither of them got me even close to not even 5 points. But man, oh well.
Yeah, Tony Algier though. Algier had a good day.
Yep. Yeah. My other league, I won 127-65.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm winning 117-85 in that one.
Yeah.
And my opponent has nobody left going.
Oh no, and the one that I that you're talking about, I'm going to lose by 4 points in that one. He had Caleb today, which got him a ton of points. Oh, did Marvin Harrison not play today?
Oh, he got hurt with a concussion early in the game.
Fucking hey, he got me 0 points.
Yeah, he left early in the game.
Damn, and guess who was on my mother effing bench?
Who?
Cole Kmet.
Damn, he had 2 tugs.
I had Kittle though, so
Yeah,
that's okay. And
they
my
both had
flex
2
was
touchdowns.
Zay Flowers. So okay, I'm okay there.
Yeah, Zay had a really good game, but he didn't get in the end zone. But he had like
No.
1,000,000 yards.
9 receptions, 132.
Let's hop into these games though. Let's start with Sunday Night Football. So, the Bengals closed 4-point favorites. The total was 46.5. The final score was 17-7. The Bengals cover. The total goes under. This one looked like it was going to finish 10-7, and because Chase Brown, he gets a first down, all he had to do was slide. He goes in the end zone. Bengals go up 17-7, and that's all she wrote. But nonetheless, the Giants had their opportunities. They had 2 missed field goals and an interception by one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, Daniel Jones, in the red zone. And that seems to be a common theme with the Giants. And, CJ and I were having a conversation earlier, and we were both like talking about it. Like, the Giants aren't a bad team, dude. It's just like Daniel Jones like limits their ceiling. Like, he lowers their ceiling because he's just so inept, and he's just not a good quarterback, dude. Like, he misses a ton of fucking throws. The interception he threw was just, I mean, you can't do that, dude. Like, it was such a bad throw. Like, just take the sack, dude. Take the sack, kick a field goal, bro. Like, what are you doing? And it's shit like that. And I mean, in hindsight, like, their field goal kicker can't make field goals, so I guess
It doesn't matter either, but yeah.
But regardless, it's just an ongoing theme with the Giants, and I don't even think the Bengals are that good, dude. Like, the Bengals they're not a good team at all.
No.
And the Giants looked like a way better team in this game.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, they outplayed the Giants or the Bengals incredibly.
Yep.
24-13 on first downs.
The yardage was pretty close because of that last fucking drive.
Yeah, yardage was close, but they had 34 minutes 7 seconds in possession time versus 25:53. Less penalties, more red zone attempts. They both only converted on one of those.
Yep.
It's you look at these numbers and you're like, okay, this was a lot closer than a 10-point game.
Oh yeah, this is anyone that had Giants like myself, I mean, it's just fucking heartbreak, but that's part of football.
Yeah.
Tyrone Tracy looked really good, and I thought that was a huge part of the deficiency in the Giants in the first half was like they just weren't running the ball, and it's like, dude, Tyrone Tracy's hella good. Like, use the kid, bro. Like, what are you guys doing? And they started using him in the second half, and that was really when they started effectively moving the ball. But yeah, man, I still think the Bengals have a ton of fucking issues, dude. Like, their offensive line isn't good. They gave up 4 sacks to the Giants, and the Giants have a really good defensive line. They actually lead the NFL in sacks, so I guess it's not that bad. But they have a ton of issues, man. They have a lot of issues that they got to work out. And the Giants, they just fucking stink, dude. That Daniel Jones is he's fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
Next game we had on deck, we had Atlanta at Carolina. Atlanta closed 6-point favorites. The total was 46. Atlanta won 38-20. The total goes over. Atlanta covers. Atlanta wins. Again, this was another game where Carolina had their opportunities, but they couldn't capitalize, and the Falcons are too good of a team you can't not capitalize on your opportunities and have 2 interceptions and expect to win these type of games. And it came back to haunt them. And also the Falcons had 198 total rushing yards, Ben. I mean, you can't give up 200 yards rushing and expect to win a game, dude. It's just not going to happen.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right there. I think penalties played a big issue on that as well. Penalties at the most inopportune time. that extended plays. They only had one first down from a penalty, but had 74 yards of penalties throughout the game. 10 penalties for 74 yards. And like, yes, those didn't give them the first down, but then they gave them the opportunity to get short yardage from the get-go. So yeah, it's Dalton looks better than Bryce, but
That's not saying much.
that's not saying much. Yeah.
I do want to get to
I'm
this real quick. Steven on Twitch, he said he had Bengals -3 and he immediately regretted it. Giants should have won that game. Even when there was like 2 to 3 minutes left, he said they couldn't scoop that fumble. And I also forgot about that. Chase Brown fumbled the ball and the Giants couldn't scoop it up and knocked it out of bounds. But back to the Panthers and Falcons. Yeah, I mean, at this point too, if you're the Panthers, like, why even start Andy Dalton? You're 1-5. Like, you might as well see what you got from Bryce Young, dude.
Exactly. Give him more reps. Get him used to the schemes. And I mean, if he starts to have an uptick, maybe you trade him as a backup. Maybe you hope that he can turn things around.
You definitely hope. You drafted him number 1 overall. You definitely hope he could turn things around. But
yeah,
that's why you got to. I think they should use the rest of the year, like, develop him, and get him and see what you have, dude. And if by the end of the year you're like completely sold, like this is not the guy, okay, then you move forward and you move on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I agree with you there, and I think we are gonna see it eventually, Ben. If it's not next week, it's gonna be relatively close with Bryce Young coming back, because at this point, Dalton, they are better with Dalton, but not much better.
Yeah. You've got Commies next week. You've got Broncos the week after. And I think if you don't win those 2 games, then, I mean, the season's already lost at 105.
Yeah, they're fucking cooked, dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We had Detroit at Dallas. The Lions laid 3.5 in this one. The total is 53. The total goes over. The Lions cover. They win 47-9. I mean, this was just an absolute fucking beatdown, dude. That's what this was. I mean, this game was never close at all. The Tigers. I still got baseball in my mind. The Lions. You could just tell that they had it. They were gonna make a point in this game, and they did not let up at all. They wanted to embarrass the Cowboys, and they did just that. The Cowboys had 5 turnovers. And like I said, Detroit did not let up. 184 yards rushing, 308 yards passing, over 500 yards of total offense, dude. Just absolutely insane. They were even embarrassing them so much they were fucking calling flea flickers and fucking hooking laterals to their fucking linemen, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
which I thought, I didn't think that was an eligible man downfield, but
nah, it definitely wasn't. That was I mean, dude, if you're Dallas, like, I mean, at what point do you pull the plug on Mike McCarthy, dude? Like, Jerry Jones, this is getting ugly, dude.
Well, but McCarthy is a defensive coach, correct?
No, offensive.
He's an offensive. Okay, then yeah, get the fuck out.
I mean, their defense ain't much. Their defense is terrible too.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But I thought he was more defensive, and that way you get rid of your offensive coordinator like last week. But if McCarthy is your offensive guru there, then it's just it's unacceptable.
Yeah, the Cowboys' big problem is they can't run the ball at all.
They can't run the ball. They can't throw the ball. They've got great wide receivers that can't catch the ball because the ball is not even close to them. I mean, I don't think Dak is the long-term answer, and they just gave him the long-term deal.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback position's so difficult, though, because, like, Dak does enough to, like, be a good quarterback, but I don't think he's a great quarterback. So he's like on that borderline of like, yeah, he's a really good regular season quarterback, but he's already shown you that like he can't win you games in the postseason, right?
I mean, today versus I don't want to say Detroit's a rivalry, but this was a big game, and he's 17 for 33, just over 50% completion rating.
Oh, I mean, they
No
were terrible,
TDs
dude.
and 2 touchdowns. Or sorry, no TDs and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, they were awful.
That's horrendous.
This is one of those games. If you're the Cowboys, you just got to throw it away and just forget about it, dude.
And the whole second half was played without the Lions' most aggressive and probably best defensive player.
Yeah, I mean, he played
And
He played half of the third quarter.
no, it was like 12 minutes in when he got hurt.
Yeah, that's
Or
crazy.
sorry, 12 minutes left in the quarter when he got hurt.
And that injury going forward for Detroit, I mean, that's a big fucking injury, dude.
It's huge. Yeah.
That's their best
But
player.
Dallas only scored 3 points during that time.
Yeah, they suck, dude. They're not. Dallas is just. They're not a good team, bro.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, the Eagles might not be that good either.
Mm-hmm.
So, this division is definitely, Washington can make some noise in this division.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Cowboys have a bye week this week, and then they come back and they got to face the Niners next, and we'll really see where the Cowboys are at. But yeah, I'm not sold on this team. Like they got shit on so much in the offseason that I was like, man, is there some value actually on the Cowboys? Because like everyone's kind of like kicking them to the ground and shit. Turns out that no, that's not the case. They really are fucking trash.
Well, and I think the only thing that you do have coming off is that they've got 2 weeks to prep for the Niners, and a Niners team without CMC. And Mason has been playing well, but he is no CMC. And the rivalry and the want to beat the Niners is more than any other team, even within their division.
They not beating nobody with that defense.
Yeah.
Niners might run for fucking 250 yards on them.
Niners might run for 250 yards, and they might get 3 interceptions.
Yeah, this team is fucking cooked, man. Good old Jerry Jones. All right, let's move on to the next game. We had
good old racist Jerry Jones.
Yeah, fuck him. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Las Vegas Raiders. This was really a Steelers home game. The Steelers laid 3.5. The total is 36.5. The total goes over. The Steelers win 32-13. They cover. This is another game where, the Raiders had opportunities. They had 2 turnovers in the red zone, which fucking really ended up costing them. But at the end of the day, like this Raiders team they're not good, dude. They're not good at all. They can't run the ball for shit, and they have a really bad quarterback problem because Aiden O'Connell's out there. He took over the starting job over Gardner Minshew, and he's not even better than Gardner Minshew. I'm
gonna give AOC at least another week to prep.
I mean, at this point, you can't really go back to Minshew. It's like
and I do think Aiden O'Connell is a decent quarterback. I think not having an option to run the ball is.
Yeah, but it's not the running backs as why they can't run the ball. It's the offensive line. Like they just can't. Yeah. They can't run block. Like every week, dude. It's not like this is every single week. No matter who they play, they cannot run the ball. Like that's an issue, and it's tough to win games when you can't run the ball. And like, I know you don't have Devontae Adams out there, but I mean Brock Bowers is he's a legit fucking weapon out there, and it's he had 9 catches for 71 yards, but it's just I don't know, man. Like AOC is like he's overthrowing dudes, fucking underthrowing guys. Like you just can't have mediocre quarterback play, and that goes for the Steelers too, dude. Like Justin Fields isn't much better. He was 14-24 for 145 yards. He had 11 carries for 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. But Najee Harris was really the workhorse. He had 14 carries, 106 yards. And that was the big thing with the Raiders' defense is they can't stop the run. And it was like every time they would get a big play, it was like negated by a fucking penalty every fucking time. But
the big thing for this game is the turnover game.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude,
you can't win a game 3-0 on turnovers.
Yeah, you have no fucking chance.
No way.
But one thing I did want to talk about this game is if you're the Lions, you know you're not going to get Aiden Hutchinson back this year. Do you call the Raiders, say, what's it going to take to get Max Crosby?
I would, but I think Max is like he's on that Raiders for life.
Yeah, but if you're the Raiders,
Right.
dude, you have to like contemplate this because, you know, your team sucks, dude, and you're nowhere near like being a good. You're not just a quarterback away from being good. Like you have a lot of fucking issues.
Yeah.
So
Or what's his oh my God.
Devontae.
Thank you, Adam. It's coming back.
Yeah, I mean this team is just, but they're not. Devontae Adams coming back doesn't make them.
Doesn't do yeah.
I mean this team they have a lot of issues. So it's like,
Yeah.
if I'm the Raiders, like I would actually contemplate doing that. Like if you can get a couple draft picks, like high draft picks, I don't think it's a terrible idea. You know what I mean? I know this is highly unlikely to happen. I know it's a not really of the realm of possibility, but the Raiders should actually consider it. But they're not a very intelligent team, so I don't know if they would anyways.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tom Brady's coming in as a minority owner, so
I thought he already was the minority owner.
no, the owners approved the option for him to be a minority owner.
I thought he already was. Yeah, I mean they got a lot of shit to fix, dude. Steelers suck too. I don't think they're that good of a team either.
No, and we talked about this because I did play the Steelers today, and you know it was the basis behind this was yes, I know the Steelers suck, but the Raiders suck even more. And that was the big push for that is knowing that the Raiders were not going to be able to stop a fucking nosebleed, and they didn't. Justin Fields, yeah, wasn't great throwing the ball today, but you have 3 rushing touchdowns, which absolutely killed you. And
yep,
Raiders can't stop the run.
Steven said Tom Brady approved as a 10% owner by the NFL. 10%. All right, let's move on to the next game. We have the Chargers at the Broncos. Chargers laid 3 in this one. The total was 37. This one went over. The final score was 23-16. The Chargers win. A little scary in the beginning of this game is Jim Harbaugh, the head coach of the Chargers, went to the locker room. I guess he was having like some heart issues, but ends up coming back out and coaching the game. Chargers got out to a 23-point lead and then just sat on the lead at the end. I mean, it was going to be difficult for Denver to come back, but Justin Herbert, 21-34, 237 yards, 1 touchdown. Bo Nix was 19-33, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. I was actually impressed with Bo Nix, man. Like, he doesn't look absolutely terrible. I know the game was already kind of over and he was really playing against like prevent defense, but still, like he made some plays and
that Cortland Sutton touchdown was fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a touchdown, but it was beautiful.
He's impressed me, man. I won't lie. I was very down on Bo Nix coming into the season, but he's improved like every single week, which I think is like huge for.
Oh, man, he already looks better than what Russ was doing in Denver last year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's not saying much, but yeah, he was terrible. On the flip side, the Chargers, man, like they came off the bye and they did what they had to do, and their offensive line's really good. They can really run the ball. The Denver defense has been really stout against the run, and Chargers really put up 128 on them. Kind of looked really good doing it. So I think this Chargers team is gonna be, as long as they stay healthy, I think they can make some noise and get in the playoffs, Ben. This Chargers team.
What scares me about the Chargers team is that you have the second half punt, field goal, punt, end of game. Like they did not play a full 60 minutes. They didn't really even play a second half.
They got to clean up some shit, but I mean, dude, they were up 23-0, dude. They were like kind of sitting on the lead a little bit. They were doing the opposite of the fucking Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions were like trying to run up the score.
They did. Yeah.
Yep. Denver, though, I am impressed. Denver is better than I thought they were going to be, and Bo Nix is improving. And
Yeah.
I think if you're a Denver Broncos fan, you got to be kind of excited about that. All right,
I think it's a little surprising that they did take their foot off the gas because this is a division game. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was last.
But Denver's defense is good too.
Yeah.
Like that's really what's been carrying Denver throughout the course of the season so far. All right, let's move on to the next game. We had Arizona at Green Bay. Green Bay closed 5.5-point favorites. The total was 47. If you got the 47, you pushed. If you got the 47.5, that's an L, which is really heartbreaking because this game looked like it was going to soar over in the first half as there was 34 points scored. This is the second time that's happened in a Cardinals game, by the way, this season. But yeah, man, the Cardinals, they got a lot of issues, man. They cannot protect Kyler Murray. The offensive line is just fucking atrocious. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Somehow the defense has like taken a step backwards this year. Yep. And you know, we talked about it in the beginning of the year, and I expected the Cardinals to, you know, start off bad defensively and get better as the season progressed because they have a lot of young players. But man, coming off that win against the Niners and then just getting boat raced like this, I mean, it's a bad look, dude.
Yeah.
When you're trying to build.
We do know that the Packers are a good team. They were able to move the ball today, and 27-16 on first downs, 13 more minutes of possession. But a big part of that was that they won the turnover battle. Again, turn over the ball 3 times, you're going to lose the game. Yep. And we saw that in a 3-1 turnover battle today. So, you know, I at this point with the players that are on the field, I do think that the Packers are probably better than the Niners. So, you know, should the Packers have come out and what they win by 21, like should they come out there and win by 21 compared to Arizona winning by a point last week? No, probably not. But that could have just been Arizona being on their high and also having Marvin Harrison go out early in the game. You know, that changes things. You get Christian Watson back, which he had a great game today. I don't know if I'd say I had a great game. 3 receptions for 68 yards, but like he was their highest targeted receiver.
Love was really spreading the ball around.
Yeah, highest yarded receiver because he had a 44 long. But yeah, getting Watson back definitely helps.
Yeah, I mean the Packers are a good team for sure, but again, you know, this is a common theme in the NFL now. You know, the Packers rush for over 190 yards. When you allow that much rushing, it's very, very difficult to win because the other team is really controlling the clock and they're controlling time of possession, and it's tough to win games like that. Like, you have to be able to run the ball in today's NFL. You have to. And if you look at all the teams that really dominated today, especially, which we're going to get to, Ravens, right? They ran the ball really efficiently. The Falcons ran the ball really efficiently. The Lions ran the ball really efficiently. The Chargers ran the ball efficiently. The Steelers ran the ball efficiently. The Bucks, like, you look at this, and the team that wins the rushing battle basically always wins the game. Like, this is a new era because everyone's talking about 2 deep shell safeties and stuff, and like they're trying to take away the big explosive passing play. Well, how do you defeat that? You run the fucking ball
effectively. Yep.
You gotta run the ball, and you know. So if you're building a team now, like I'm not saying go out and draft a running back, but you have to draft in the trenches. You have to get good offensive linemen. You got to be able to move dudes off the line of scrimmage, and you know, the Cardinals have invested in their offensive line. Like they used a high draft pick last year on Paris Johnson, who's their right tackle or left tackle now, and he's got to develop, and they need to continue building in the trenches, and that goes for the defensive line too. Like, you have to be good in the trenches on the defensive line. You have to be able to rush the passer, and you have to be able to stop the run. I know it's easier said than done, but like, it's a common theme when you look at this right now. All right, let's move on to Philly and Cleveland. Oh my god, this fucking Cleveland Browns team, bro. They were 9.5 point dogs. They cover. The Eagles win 20-16. The total goes under. The Cleveland Browns are the only team in the NFL who has not scored over 18 points in a game this season. Once again, they do not have an offensive touchdown. They're 0 for their last 25 on third down conversions.
Serious?
What?
No offensive touchdown today?
No offensive touchdown. Their only touchdown was a blocked field goal return.
Oh, wow.
And Watson actually looked decent in the second half. He looked better than he has. But I mean, this team is just so fucking putrid, dude. Like, this team fucking sucks. This team fucking blows.
Yep.
And they got... I saw someone today on Twitter, the Browns fan, saying that they're tanking. It's like, what are you tanking for?
Yeah.
This team just went to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
The defense is good. You held the Eagles to 20 points. It's just your offense cannot do anything. You know what I mean? Like, this team just cannot do anything offensively. They are inept. They have set football back 30 years.
In Cleveland. But yes.
No, they've set the game of football back 30 years with this fucking offense, dude. They can't do shit.
Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible.
God. I feel bad for Amari Cooper. Feel bad for Jerry Jeudy. You're thinking in like, oh, you got a fucking great quarterback coming back from, getting hurt. And man, a fucking dud.
Yeah. I mean, Deshaun Watson I don't know what's wrong with him, Ben. Like, he was once like a top 5 to 10 quarterback in the league, and he just looks like a fucking shell of himself, dude. Like,
he's not getting happy endings every day from his massages.
I mean, if that's the case, bro, Cleveland better go. They better make something happen. I mean, you're paying this guy too much money, bro. Like, you need this guy to be good, and that's why, like, when people in Cleveland are saying like, "Oh, we're tanking," like, tanking for what?
Yeah,
the fuck are you tanking for? You're just gonna fucking next year just be like, oh yeah, dude, we still owe you like fucking $120 million, but you know what? You're just gonna fucking sit here. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they do. But, bro, that'd be the least of my worries, is drafting a quarterback when I'm paying a guy what I'm paying Deshaun Watson. Like,
well, and this is not, and I don't know college football, so definitely correct me, but this is not a QB heavy draft class, right?
I mean, Shador Sanders is gonna be in the draft, Quinn Ewers, but yeah, it's not like last year. Like, you're not getting Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels walking through that door.
Uh-huh.
I do think Shador is gonna be good, though. I do think he's gonna be good. But yeah, this draft class definitely nowhere near last year's. So that's why tanking is like fucking tanking, dude. Yeah, I fucking bet. You guys ain't tanking, you just suck. And Kevin Stefanski's probably going to lose his job over it. It's not really his fault. He's not the one that fucking signed Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
They're better off with fucking Joe Flacco. Fucking team blows, man. All right, let's move on to the next game. We have the Commies at the Ravens, the Battle of the DMV. This closed at 7. The total was 50.5. The total goes over.
Battle of the DMV?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
DMV, that's the area. DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that.
Come on, Ben. What the fuck? That's like famously known as the DMV.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. All right. 30-23 was the final score. We were talking about rushing the ball earlier. Again, the Ravens ran the ball for 176 yards, Ben. Just absolutely dominated on the ground. Every time, like, Washington, like, if they didn't score or gave the ball back to Baltimore, you basically knew Baltimore was going down the field because they couldn't stop the run.
Yeah. Yeah, and looking at the other side, what did Washington not do? Is run the ball.
Yeah.
Only 52 rushing yards, and Jaden Daniels was almost half of those at 22.
Yeah, and they kept him in pretty good check for the most part, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 22 of those yards, like I think half of it came on one run for a first down.
Long of 9 for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, so 9 yards. So basically a
9
third
out
of
22,
it
yeah.
came on one fucking run.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you know, I thought Baltimore did a way better job. I thought honestly, I thought Washington was pretty lucky to only lose this game by 7 because I felt like Washington. I mean, they were able to move the ball. They just really couldn't capitalize once they moved it into the red zone and stuff. But I mean, Baltimore like could not be stopped, dude. Like they just every time they touched the ball, they were just going right down the field. And that's Washington's problem, to be honest. Like they have a good offense. Jaden Daniels looks really good, but they can't stop anything, dude.
Yep.
They have an issue with that. So I'm
I
curious.
still think they can win this division, though.
Yeah, this division is I don't know. I mean, Nick Sirianni I mean, that dude might get fired soon. The Eagles head coach. Fucking Eagles fans are like booing him and shit. I mean, the Eagles should be winning this division. They're like the better. Irv said Watson needs to start getting his massages. What did he say? What was it? What did he say?
Again, he will be the best QB in the league.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously what's missing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the NFC East is pretty wide open, dude. It's probably definitely. I mean, Washington and Philly are definitely the 2 best teams in that division. But man, if the Giants just had capable quarterback play, they would actually probably win this division. Crazy.
Giants are garbage. Come on.
Nah, that's a good dude. That's a decent roster, dude. It's just their quarterback. Like Ben, if you think about
their
it,
quarterback is taking up so much of their money.
If you think about their season so far, they got boat raced by Minnesota. Okay, they dominated the fucking Commanders, but they lost the game because their kicker got hurt, and they had to go for 2 points every time they scored a touchdown. And the Commies didn't even score a touchdown in that game and won the game because the fucking Giants didn't have a kicker. So they probably should have won that game. Then they play the Cowboys, and the Giants probably should have won that game, but Daniel Jones missed like 3 fucking throws. So again, this falls back on Daniel Jones. Like he fucking sucks. They beat Seattle in Seattle. This Giants team is a lot better than people give them credit for. It's just Daniel Jones is not good. They have a quarterback problem.
Yeah.
And they lead the league in sacks. Like their defensive line is hella good. Got to get that motherfucker Daniel Jones out of there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He blows.
Their 2 wins are I agree with you. They blow, but their 2 wins are against the Seahawks and the Browns, which don't show much.
Yeah, but the Seahawks are
They fucking lost to the Cowboys.
Who, the Giants?
Yeah.
They should have won that game. I'm telling you, fucking Daniel Jones missed like 3 throws that like you have to make as an NFL quarterback. That's the problem, is like he doesn't make these throws. You got to make those throws. All right, let's move on to the next game. The Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee closes a 2.5 point favorite here. The total is 41.5. The Colts won 20-17. Talk about a team with no quarterback play. That's Tennessee. Will Levis fucking sucks.
Yep.
16-27, 95 yards, 1 touchdown and a pick. Joe Flacco, 22-38, 189, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. This was just a really ugly fucking game, to be honest. But here the Titans are, man. They lose another one. I don't know why they don't start Rudolph, dude.
Yeah. Levy's had a horrible game. But thank God they were able to run the ball, or this game would have been just out of control. And I think penalties here played a big part. 11 penalties for 113 yards, 5 first downs from penalties.
Yep.
You can't extend plays like that.
Yep.
Can't extend series like that.
dog shit team. And then we had Houston and New England. Houston closed 7-point favorites. They end up winning 41-21. Drake May had some good. He had some bad. More of the bad. He did have a really nice touchdown throw. Um, uh, he had a few. He had a few nice throws that I was like, oh shit. But again, who dominated the rushing game? Houston, yep. 192 yards of rushing.
Yep, to 82.
Just can't win football games when you're getting blown out like that, and turnovers. Yep. I mean, we know New England's pretty bad. They're going to be really bad all year. But you just gotta hope. If you're a New England fan, you're really just hoping at this point that Drake May develops, because he did show some good. Like I said, he showed some flashes today, man.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns, 5 for 38 rushing. I think the 4 sacks was definitely bad. And 2 interceptions. Like, he'll settle in though.
He will.
I think that's the big thing, is that yes, this was his first game. You do have those bad plays, but he'll settle in.
Yep, I agree. That offensive line fucking sucks, though.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We had Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Tampa closed 3.5-point favorites. The total was 42. Tampa wins this 51-27. The Saints, who started the season 2-0, have now lost 4 straight. They're now 2-4. Spencer Rattler, I mean, again, he had some flashes, and he also had some plays where, you're like, oh, he is a rookie. New Orleans turned Baker Mayfield over 3 times and still couldn't win this game. I mean, this was comedy, dude. New Orleans led this game 27-24 at the half, and then they didn't score a single point in the second half and lost 51-27.
Yeah. 601 yards of total offense.
277 yards rushing.
Yeah.
New Orleans defense is
yards rushing and 325 receiving. Like, usually you get one or the other being high. This is just insane.
We talk about coaches getting fired, and like no one mentions Dennis Allen, dude. Like, how are you a defensive head coach and like your defense just gets shredded like this, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, this shit was just disgusting. Tucker, 14 carries for 136 yards.
Yeah.
Irving, 14 carries for 81 yards, 1 tug. I mean, dude, that's just embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. I feel bad for the Saints fans. Because the first 2 weeks of the season, Ben, they looked like they were going to fucking like be one of the best teams in the league.
Oh, absolutely.
But here they are. All right, and then let's move to London. We had the early London game. We had Jacksonville against Chicago. Jacksonville actually closed as a 1-point favorite most places. Closed as like a pig, 1 point. Chicago ran away with this one, 35-16. The total was 44.5. Total goes over. Caleb Williams continues to shine. Trevor Lawrence, I didn't even think he was like necessarily that bad today.
Yeah.
But he leaves a lot to be desired still. Yeah, man, the Bears look good, Ben.
Yeah, and that was my question, is that are the Bears good or are the Jags just bad?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
The Jags look...
The Jags...
There's times where the Jags, like, they show, like, okay, they're a good team, but then there's also times where it's like, okay, they're not a good team. Like,
yeah.
It's just a wild conundrum with them.
Mac Jones, 100% completion percentage today.
Yeah, 1 of 1.
Yeah.
Look good out there in London.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams talk about continuing to get better, dude. Caleb Williams gets better every fucking week.
3 for 29 for 226, 4 touchdowns.
They got
4 for 4 in the red zone.
They might have a dog out there in Chicago. All right, let's look ahead to this Monday night matchup. We have the Buffalo Bills heading into the New York Jets. The Jets have fired Robert Saleh. The Jets are 1-point dogs. The total's 41. Buffalo's pretty banged up. They're going to be without Ed Oliver tomorrow. James Cook is questionable, game time decision. Who else was out for them? I fucking was looking at this earlier, dude. Ed Oliver's out.
DeRayton Evans, Ed Oliver.
They have like a lot of
Cooper
guys questionable.
questionable. Johnson questionable. Shakir questionable.
Let me pull up a better injury report.
Damn, this line has moved too.
Well, yeah, because like I'll be honest, I like the Jets tomorrow, which means you should probably play the Bills. But it's a system play for me. I have a system. When coaches get fired, I blindly just bet the team whose coach got fired, and it's always pretty solid because usually teams rally around the new coach, and you could tell Aaron Rodgers didn't really fucking care for Robert Saleh and shit, and the Jets haven't, by any stretch of the imagination, Jets haven't looked very good, but the Bills haven't looked very good either the last couple of weeks. So, and the Jets still have a really good defense. So I do like the Jets tomorrow. I have played the Jets. I played them at +2. I would play them at +1. I think the Jets win this game tomorrow.
Who is their coach?
Who?
They're the Jets now?
Ulbrich.
Okay. And then they demoted their offensive coordinator as well, right?
Yeah, he was doing a dog shit job too.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, they haven't looked good, man.
Yeah, but is that a whole new system that they have to learn in a week?
No, it's just a new play caller.
Okay.
So someone else calling plays. They're not revamping the whole system. I think a big part of their issues is they haven't been able to establish the run, but also Nathaniel Hackett, not very creative, and even Garrett Wilson, their best wide receiver, called him out publicly, saying that he wasn't being utilized correctly and all that stuff. Because a lot of people are like, oh well, they're not like giving him the ball. It's not just about giving someone the ball. It's about putting them in the best position to get the ball and be effective.
Yeah. The only thing I do worry is that you are dealing with the hurt Aaron Rodgers. How long is that hamstring going to hold up? He also has a sprained left ankle and was out 2 weeks ago with a sore knee.
Man, he's 40, dude. I'm not betting on this game for Aaron Rodgers, dude. I'm betting on this game because I think the Jets' defense is good. They lead the league in yards per play against. And on the same note, the Bills can't stop the run. The Bills give up 5.2 yards per carry. So I think this is a game where the Jets are going to be able to establish the run. They're going to get Braylon Allen and Breece Hall going. And then they're going to be able to go off the play action pass with that. And Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks with the play action fake. So I think this is a game where the Jets can. I think they're going to rally around Ulbrich, dude. I think the locker room's going to rally. I think the Jets. I think they win this game. I do. I think they win this game outright. I will be playing Jets money line. Jets, Jets. I think the Bills kind of blow too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but who blows more, the Jets or the Bills?
I think the Jets defense is better than like any unit of the Bills. I mean, you take away that Jacksonville game. I mean, you honestly look at the Bills, bro. It's like they beat the Cardinals, Dolphins, and Jags, dude. I mean, you look back on those 3 wins and you're like, those aren't that great.
Yeah.
And the Jets haven't been good.
You look at the Jets wins and you got the Pats and the Titans.
Yeah, but this is a thing,
They're
dude.
not that great.
New head coach.
This is Denver.
This is gonna be a different team on Monday. I'm telling you right now, the energy is gonna be different. We see this every time a coach gets fired in any sport. Any sport. The very next game, the team comes out firing on all cylinders. I will be on Jets tomorrow.
I don't know if I can be on Jets.
It's fine. I'll be on a island there.
Yep. I just don't think I'll play this game.
Like the Jets tomorrow. All right, let's get some best bets for tomorrow.
Here we go.
Okay, so I do have to play this game because I did take this on Tuesday before the firing. So
You have the Bills.
I do have the Bills at 2.5 too. That's not a good number.
At -2.5?
Yep.
Damn. All right, so what best bets?
We'll not be putting any more money on that. My best bet for tomorrow is going to be Cleveland. I think they ultimately win this series, and I like this offensive firepower that they've been showing this last series against Detroit. So we're going to go plus 140, I think it was 147.
147.
For
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I'm with you, man.
Dodgers, but I think they win.
I'm with you on Cleveland plus 147. I like the Guardians tomorrow. I like the Jets +1. I also like I'd also look at Logan Thomas over 1.5 bases tomorrow if you can get it like plus 125, plus 130. I think it's also a pretty good look. So I'm with you on that one. And then I'll probably also look at playing like Breece Hall or Braylon Allen anytime touchdown as well. I think both those dudes have a good shot at scoring, so I'm gonna look at those. I haven't seen any numbers yet, so I'm not gonna give it out here yet.
Yep.
But yeah, I do like I like the Jets tomorrow. +1. +1 Jets. 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 And did we have an announced starter for the Dodgers? I know that
We don't know. There's no lineup. There's at least not a lineup. Let me see if ESPN has anything.
because I heard on the broadcast they were saying that the Dodgers were going to go with a bullpen game, but then I heard people on Twitter saying that they're going to pitch Walker Buehler.
Undecided, as listed on.
Yeah, so we may
ESPN
not
against
start
Manaea.
it. Oh, the Mets are going Manaea, huh?
Yep.
That might be a spot to back the Mets. I mean, the Dodgers can't fucking shut out everyone every fucking game, right?
You'd think.
It's tough to
Yeah,
get it.
Mets plus 120.
We got to get Ben to start talking hockey. We need
I haven't started watching hockey yet.
some hockey bets. I played two
okay.
hockey bets this year, and they both lost, so I think I'm retiring from hockey this year.
Well, stop betting the Sharks.
I bet them one game, dude, and they had a 4-1 lead and fucking
Yeah,
lost,
that's
dude.
brutal. That is absolutely brutal.
And
Against the Blues, too.
And the other one was an under that there was like 13 goals scored, so.
Oh, shit.
The Oilers, man, starting the year 0-3, Ben. Just like last year. They could not get a win last year. It's fucking comedy. All right, thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. We'll be back Tuesday night to talk some more baseball. We'll be recapping the series as it goes and talking ball. So join us 9:15 Pacific Standard Time Tuesday night. Twitch.tv/Taproom Sports. We'll be right back here. If you missed any of the show, you can get it on all podcast platforms: Amazon, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast fix. Just search Taproom Sports Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Taproom_sports. You can find us on Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. You can follow myself on Twitter at Jordan Rules TSP. We'll be back on Tuesday. Have a blessed Monday.
Yeah, check our social medias to see if we're gonna do that baseball show Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not too sure if you're doing your football show on Wednesday, but we have 2 games on Thursday, only 1 on Wednesday. So,
Oh, nice.
so we'll let you guys know
Yes.
which day we're gonna do that baseball show.
Yeah. Taproom Sports Podcast, Instagram. Taproom_sports, Twitter. We'll see y'all later. Have a blessed day. Peace.
Later.